Hunter is someone who's played Abzan aggro pre-rotation. He was a very big fan of that deck in Standard, and apparently he's still a pretty big fan of it post-rotation because he's playing it here this weekend. We begin things here as both these players are 6-2. And with the number of players that we have here in the room, it looks like maybe X-2 is what's going to make it, not X-3. It's going to be close.
There's so many draws, and that muddies the math.
Yeah.
So it's hard to predict. Usually when we're at the high 500, low 600 counts, sometimes it's been X3, sometimes it's X2-1, and a lot of it just depends on how many unintentional draws are across the tournament. So it's hard to predict.
Minh Hang going to search up a Sunken Hollow with a Flooded Strand as we are underway here in round number 9. Hang will draw a card now. Yeah, I'm very interested to see what the metagame breakdown looks like tomorrow from Nick, because it really feels like the decks that we've watched this weekend, Jeskai Black, Megamorph, both green, white, and Bant, Atarka Red, and not even very much Bring the Light, actually.
Very little.
Yeah. It feels like those are the big 3 decks at this point in the format. Prairie Stream being land number 2 here for Hang. That's with a Delta. He'll just pass the turn back. Slow start here for Hunter. We'll see what turn number 3 brings here. Does have a Bloodstained Mire. Perhaps a Mountain on the way. Of course, you're going to find 4 copies of Mantis right here, along with 4 copies of Jace. But a bit of a more Dragon approach here for Hang, as he does have Thunderbreak Regent and Dragonlord Ochitai to go along with 3 copies of Draconic War.
And I wonder how much of it is reverse engineered. You start from the position of, I want Draconic Roar, and then let's see if I can fit in some dragons. Last year, it was kind of the other way around. There was a lot of really good dragons, and then Draconic War just was a good card you could play. But now without Lightning Strike, I think we've seen Draconic War this weekend in decks with no dragons whatsoever. So I think that's the starting point for a lot of players.
To me, that's actually kind of a welcome change to see no 3 damage spell or like a BioBlight-esque spell. I actually kind of like that aspect of this format. It's different. Yeah. It just kind of shakes it up.
Well, you know, I strongly prefer things to be mixed up from season to season. It just means that cards, threats, and answers are likely to rotate in and out of popularity. And so, yeah, we'll go for a little while without having Lightning Strike, and some 3 toughness plays that weren't as good will be a little bit better for a while.
I like it a lot, personally. Maybe we'll see one in the next set, who knows? But for now, life without it is pretty cool. Once I think it's going to search up a forest, Polluted Delta will search up the Prairie Stream.
And this is my point here. We've had 1 spell cast so far over 3 turns, and we're over 3 minutes into the game.
You said it.
It's the lands.
It is the lands. They're the culprit for these draws that are taking place. Abzan Charm will take care of Mantis Rider. Very important that not only Abzan aggro, but every deck gets that thing off the table.
The new builds of Jeskai are a little less burn-oriented, so you're not simply dead if you take the second hit like you were last year, but still, you don't want to mess around.
Polluted Delta passed the turn back. Smells like an Ochitai's command to me. Nance with 3 mana. He's going to go with Anafenza. I think he's expecting that to get countered. And with good reason.
I don't think Nance's hand really allowed him to do anything else here. You just got to bite the bullet. Cast your least relevant creature.
Looks like Delta might be searching up a swamp, and it is. Second basics, now the Battlelands will enter the battlefield untapped. And kind of that sinking feeling when you play against a Jeskai opponent who has 4 mana available, because you're almost forced to play no Ochitai's command.
Yeah, it would be nice to have some proactive cards that you could play that, you know, weren't creatures. I don't exactly know what that kind of card is. Something that generates tokens, a card drawing spell for spots like this.
The big one is Gideon.
Yeah.
You know, that's the one that players would like to cast when Jeskai leaves with 4 mana like that, but there aren't a lot of other Planeswalkers to do that with. Soren is okay in that regard.
Kiora might be okay in that regard.
Yep. There's a Battlefield Forge. Well, let's go for broke. It's a Dragonlord Ojutai. Dare you to have an answer. Murderous Cut in hand here for Nance. That's a clean 1-mana answer.
Yeah, it's really nice to have the 1-mana answer because, you know, you leave up 2 mana for Valorous Stance and Hang would say, you know, there's probably a removal spell there, and it's just better for me to hold back on defense and make Nance leave up 2 mana the whole game. But with 1, it's really just Murderous Cut, and so it gets pretty attractive to go for it.
Flooded Strand will be sacrificed. Nance going to go get a land out of his deck. See which one he wants to grab. I'm going to go with a Canopy Vista. And now there is Woodland Wanderer. 6/6.
Yeah, so this is essentially an Obzon deck that has a couple battle lands in it for increased flexibility with fetch lands, and then has Woodland Wanderer that it gets to basically splash for.
I love this card. I love the keywords it has on it. Vigilance and Trample, bigger than Siege Rat. Well, just bigger than everything, really.
Yeah.
6/6.
Cards like this do struggle to show up a little bit in Constructed because they're just numbers, and there's a lot of good numbers floating around, but this thing has great numbers.
Murderous Cuts, perhaps? No, that thing's attacking. You saw Crackling Doom take care of the Woodland Wanderer. Nance is just trying to figure out what he wants to delve away. So there's Murderous Cut to take care of Dragonlord Ojutai. We're going to go back Hunter's way. He hasn't been able to get any traction yet this game, though he does have 2 copies of Siege Rhino in his hand. He'll start by playing a Sunken Hollow. And now it's time to go to the land of rhinos. Nance will go up to 15. Hang will fall down to 14. Draconic Roar here in Hang's hand. No real good targets just yet. Picked up another copy of Mantis Rider. Also has a copy of Thunderbreak Regent in hand.
But no answer to the Rhino.
Not at this point. Could have a race on our hands.
Attention Magic players, Andy Taylor from the Legacy Challenge. We have some prizes for you, so come on up to see Liz at Cyber.
A lot to consider right now if you're Hang. It looks like he's going to take 1 right now. It's a copy of Kolagon's Command. Deal 2, and I believe make Hunter discard or return something. Either way. Get back Dragonlord Ojutai. Okay.
I like this turn. You use Draconic Roar to finish off the Rhino.
Yep.
Probably get 3 damage for your trouble.
You do want to reveal a dragon if you can. Yep. Reveal the Dragonlord Ojutai. It's a good turn. Get the Rhino off the battlefield. Deal some damage. Pass the turn back. I don't hate anything that's happened here.
Yeah, I don't think Hang was quite in a position just yet to turn this into a damage race. So I like trying to contain the board for a little bit.
Nance has got another Rhino. So he's going to go back up to 15. Hang will fall down to 10. And now we're going back over to Hang. So we know he's got a Dragonlord Ojutai in hand. Picked him another copy of Draconic Roar.
And I think Hang might have the same Kolagon's Command Draconic Roar setup from last turn.
All right. This is familiar territory. Might be making him discard this time. Yep. And now here's the roar again. Reveal, Dragon Lord Ochitai. I don't want to give away any information. Put Nance back down to 12. Fast to turn back. Hunter's last card is Siege Rhino, however, so he's going to be going back up to 15, I think, in just a moment here. Hangerback Walker, the draw. There's Rhino. And now there's Hangerback Walker. So, 6-15 as we go back Min Hang's way.
But this is a game that can get turned around. Hang could commit Dragon Lord Ochitai just to blocking duty with the Siege Rhino, and the leftovers in Hang's hand are quite good.
Yeah, I like that idea a lot. Just play Dragon Lord Ochitai with the goal of trading. I think that's a very good spot to be in.
So we advise that you find parking that is further away. You can use the
There's Dragon Lord Ochitai. Pass turn back.
to come to the venue. Again, parking tomorrow nearby will be very expensive.
Yep, there's your trade. Hangerback Walker activation right away here by Nance. Pass the turn back. He drew a copy of Murderous Cut. Hang picked up a copy of Dig Through Time. All right, now things are getting even more interesting. He does have double blue. He's got a stocked graveyard, so which way do you go?
His colored mana situation is still a little rough here. He's getting pulled in a bunch of different directions. With 5 mana in play, a lot of old builds of Jeskai could go ahead and Dig Through Time and cast Mana Strider in the same turn, and he doesn't have that kind of breakdown of mana right now.
The thing here is that I feel like Min is being pulled in a lot of different directions. He's got a Gideon, a Thunderbreak Regent, a Mantis Rider, and a Dig Through Time.
Yeah, it's a lot of chunky cards, too.
They're all really good, but he can't play 2 in 1 turn, really, so he's going to go with Gideon to start. It'll begin on 4, an ally knight on the, excuse me, a knight ally on the way. And that's the turn. So now over to Nance will go. He's got Murderous Cut in the hand, Hangerback Walker on the battlefield. And it looks like he's drawn a spell. It's an Anafenza. The follow-up here for Nance might just be activating Hangerback Walker right now, but it appears he's just going to hold steady. So Hang picked up a copy of Prairie Stream, 2 basics on the battlefield. I think that's actually a pretty important draw.
He needs white mana and blue mana. You know, he needs to be able to play 2 blue spells in 1 turn, Dig Through Time and X. He needs to stop taking damage off the battlefield forge, so that's a nice pickup there.
You see Hang's going to have to keep reorganizing this mana to figure out exactly how he wants to cast his spells. So many different things he can do. Looks like it might be time for Thunderbreak Regent. Well, a good place to start is with Gideon. So another Knight ally. Going to take 1 to play Thunderbreak Regent. So Hang will fall down to 4. With Dig Through Time at the ready. Hangerback Walker will grow. And now we're going to head back Nance's way. He'll take a draw step here. Didn't get a great look.
With Hang on 4, the most straightforward play Nance can make here is attack, pump. You can take care of Thunderbreak Regent. If that last card is Murderous Cut, I'm surprised to see Nance not make a move before blocks.
And I believe in his hand is a cut. A cut in a Wooded Foothills, I believe, is what Nance is working with here.
Yeah, this seems like a pretty straightforward block to me.
Well, there are your blocks. Oh, here's a cut. That's going to take care of the dragon. So I think the same end result.
Yeah, this
takes
works out the
place.
same way.
Yeah.
Would have been worse if Hang just went, all right, well, Thunderbreak region in front of Anafenza and chump block the hanger back walker.
Yeah.
But because Hang went for a double block there, I'm assuming to play around Obzom Charm, it ends up the same way.
Dig through time. Hang will delve away 6 cards. Then he'll take a look at the top 7 cards and take 2 of them with him. So the delve cost has been satisfied. Let's see if you can find a nice grip of cards to look at here. Jason there. Quite a few lands, actually.
What would be really nice for Hang to be able to get his hands on is an answer to Anafenza. He does that, Gideon answers Hangerback Walker, and then he has an opportunity to deploy the leftovers in his hand. I believe he still has Mantis Rider left over in his hand from turns ago.
He does.
He just hasn't had a window to really play it.
And he's found another Mantis Rider in here, too. No, Minh just does not have very much life to work with.
Yeah, that's the issue he's gotten himself into, is now both threats Nance has are lethal. So he has to block everything or kill everything. It's going to be hard to do.
Radiant Flames to draw, that's as blank as can be. Certainly feels that way, at least.
It gives him some insurance in case Nance blows up his own Hangerback Walker at sorcery speed. But it is not what this situation calls for.
That basic swamp here for Hang, currently nobody's friend.
Yeah, not helpful if we're trying to cast 2 Mantis Riders in one turn.
Being a real stinker out there. There's Mantis Rider. And here comes Jace, I believe. Unclear if there was an attack for 3 or not.
And really important for Hang to shorten this game up. I think he's got a plan if he's aggressive with racing with the Mantis Riders.
Looks like he forgot to attack with the Mantis Rider. Jeez. There are the blocks.
And I think that I would have made some effort there if I'm on Hang's side to get Anafenza off the table.
Maybe a double block.
Maybe a double block there and chump block with Jace. I know it's painful to chump block with Jace with stuff in your graveyard. But at that point, you have Gideon covering Hangerback Walker. You have another Mantis Rider in your hand. You get to attack for 2 with the token that turn, plus 3 from your Mantis Rider.
Yep.
And he doesn't have that much time to work with.
Well,
Plus-
Jace is flipping now.
Plus, you always have the opportunity, if Hunter gets too aggressive, to be using Gideon's plus power and attacking. So you have a lot of management over the damage raise.
Gideon will make a knight ally. Oh, here's Mantis Rider.
So I guess the hope here is that this kind of gives Hang the same spot as before. He can plus Jace on Anafenza. Then Mantis Rider is eligible to block it. You still have your token checking Hanger Backwalker.
And then you've got his board somewhat figured out.
Yeah, it's semi-managed,
Yeah.
and you have an opportunity to get aggressive the same way.
Now you need Hunter to draw lands. You have no control over that, but he's cooperating so far. He has 3 in his hand. And he can't even attack. Though by not attacking there, you don't take out the you leave the knight around.
I think it's very important here for Hunter to keep attacking, because now, at the minimum, you make Hang lose a knight by attacking. He's forced to block the Hanger Backwalker, and now he can make a knight and flash back a spell and still have your board contained.
It depends on what spell he wants to flash back. So this is going to be Crackling Doom. Now, what he can do here is he can play Radiant Flames in such a fashion that it's only converge for 2 with
Yes.
Battlefield Forge's colorless mana. He's got to be real careful how he does this, though.
Yeah. I mean, in a perfect world, he would do it for 1 so he could keep his knight around.
Yeah.
I don't think he has 2 colorless lands, though.
So red-black colorless. There's Radiant Flames. So this will be 2 damage to everything. And that'll kill Min's token. But he hasn't used Gideon yet. So now that will bring a token back. He's safe to attack there.
I mean, he could have. That was a spot there for Hang to just plus Gideon and attack.
That's true. Present lethal. Yep.
Because at this point, you got to assume Nance's hand is nothing. You would have said Valor Stance, Stramoka's command. You could have used it all that turn. Creatures he would have been casting.
Abzan Charm was the draw. Take a look at Jace. Don't think you're going to like what you read. I think he might just have to draw cards. He's just going to He's just going to pass. Okay.
Well, if he draws cards, he's just dead on the table.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Not a great spot to be in either way. I think this is a spot where Nance needs Min to mismanage his resources this turn.
Yep.
Just Mantis Rider. Abzan Charm will take care of that. Does have the ability to cash in Jace here to flash back some other things in the graveyard.
Yeah, there was just a much better order for all this for Hang. He could have flashed back Crackling Doom as the first order of business and, get the NFNs off the table, attack with Gideon is probably lethal.
I just feel like at this point, even though I think that Min is actually in a really good spot, you don't want to give your opponent more draw steps. There's a Treasure Cruise.
Yeah.
I would love to see the turn start with that.
Right. So not great sequencing here from Hang overall, but still in the driver's seat.
So a lot of that graveyard's going to be delved away.
And he's had some pretty challenging turns that I felt like he's navigated pretty well. And sometimes you get so far in the rabbit hole that you forget about the easy stuff.
Yep.
Like play your card drawers before combat and see if that makes your decision making easier.
If you were to draw a removal spell, then you can fire to Gideon and the game's likely over. So there has been a lot going on here. He's going to pass the turn back. And I like not cracking the fetch line to play anything because I don't want to go to 3 against the Siege Rhino deck. That's like the last thing I have interest in. Warden of the first tree was the draw. That might give Nance a chance. Level 1. Now man's going to go down to 3. A little risky.
Well, he's got to go for the kill this turn. It's very hard to rationalize going to 3 and giving Nance a draw step at Siege Rhino or Den Protector.
Valor Stance will take care of Anafenza. But I agree with you. Got to try to get it over with now.
Yeah.
Gideon is angry. Everybody's coming in. I believe with this attack, Warden is forced to block Gideon.
Yes.
So Nance is going to sacrifice that fetch land. He'll go down to 3 as well. You can go to level 2 here with Gideon. Or excuse me, with Warden. That'll make it into a lifelinker.
Well, cracking the fetch line here is problematic for Nance because he goes up to 6 from the lifelink and then falls to 2 from the attackers. And there's Kolaghan's Command and Crackling Doom in the graveyard. So at that point, it's, I think, pretty straightforward for Hang to go for the kill. I guess he didn't have the mana to not do that.
Yeah, he's almost left on no choice.
He just kind of had to.
Here's Jace. Hey, got to make him flash back the card.
Maybe it's all been delved away. I don't know. I'm stunned there was no way to finish off the game that turn based on the number of shocks he's played out of his graveyard.
A little surprised, too. There's a Warden. And Jace is going to tick down, so it's flashing back something. Yeah, he had it available. I just didn't see the kill. So Minhang's going to win game number 1 here over Hunter Nance. Jeskai Black up a game here over Abzan Aggro.
And you can see a little bit of frustration there from Nance. Got an extra turn there, at least probably several, but was not able to find Siege Rhino or Den Protector in time.
Well, to the sideboards we're going to go. We'll start with Hunter Nance and the 15 cards he has available.
He has a Reeve Soul, a Tassiger the Golden Fang, a Negate, 2 Dispels, a Dramoka's Command, 3 Duresses, 2 Ultimate Price, a Tragic Arrogance, 2 copies of Sorin Solemn Visitor, and whatever this is.
Oh, complete disregard.
Complete, yeah.
That's easy.
Just gibberish. The removal that can handle small creatures like Complete Disregard and the Reeve Soul, they're very good here. Good answers to Manus Rider and Jace. Tassiger is a challenging card for Jeskai to kill. The Edict can still hit it, but the damage-based removal is not very effective there. I like Duresses and Dispels and Negates as well. A lot of spells in the deck.
Tasker the Golden Fang, an Arashan Cleric. 2 copies of Monastery Mentor, 2 Disdainful Strokes, a Dispel, 2 Fiery Impulse, Negate, Tragic Arrogance as singletons to go along with 2 Outpost Sage and 2 Radiant Flames, and really good penmanship.
Yeah, thank you. Very much appreciate it. Very easy for us to read here. I think it's going to be much the same story with the counter spells coming in and some high impact cards like Tragic Arrogance and maybe Tassiger.
Well, both players will shuffle up here for game number 2. We will talk about Alex Pistecki, the Season 3 Invitational Champion here on the Open Series. He's headed to the Players' Championship, and this is his Germ Token. You can get it now in a bevy of ways for your batter skulls.
Sign up for any of our 2-day $20,000 main Open Series events, any of our 5K Premier IQs, both the ones we run at our 2-day $20,000 Open Series events, or ones that you can bring to your local store, or any order from StarCityGames.com, $5 or more.
Congratulations to our Season 3 Invitational champion.
Well-deserved, dramatic finals.
It was pretty great, I must say. Do we have an update for you guys on the floor? Bradley Carpenter, top 8 last weekend in Indianapolis with Obs on control. When he lost, he was ousted pretty easily by Michael Majors. Said, there's no way I'm ever beating that deck. And then he switched that deck. But he's 9-0 with that deck right now. Just beat Tom Ross for 9-0. So Bradley Carpenter at the top of the standings here in Atlanta.
Very nicely done.
Absolutely.
Still.
Sometimes you got to know when to switch decks. That's what that is.
And Tom doing the same thing.
Yeah. Tom with that blue splash this weekend. He's playing Bant Megamorph where Carpenter's playing green-white Megamorph. The difference there, though, is the blue cards I don't think help a ton in the mirror.
No, I don't think I don't think the counter spells are that attractive.
A card like Exert Influence probably is, but I don't think Tom has access to that this week.
Yeah, I think Exert Influence would be okay. I don't think you can easily play Exert Influence in a 3-color deck.
Yeah, yeah.
But it would be fine to the mirror still. Five mana for Control Magic in that matchup, you would still play. I just think it's hard to justify the sideboard slot.
Well, for Hunter Nance, number 4 on our season 4 leaderboard. He's 22 years old from Raleigh, North Carolina. 3 Open Series top 8s, most recent one in Charlotte, where he lost in the finals to Joseph Ferreira when he was playing Merfolk. He's a computer science guy at NC State. Obsessed with cats seems a bit strong.
A lot of people are.
Yeah, that's true. I guess that's true.
Been one of the big cultural shifts since the internet became a thing. So now we can just post pictures of cats, watch pictures of cats, whatever.
And he loves himself some video games. But this cat phenomenon, it's really sweeping the nation now. Even you're a cat guy.
I am now. It's because my girlfriend has the world's best cat. His name's Levi, and he's the world's best cat.
Been known to scratch you.
You know, you take the good with the bad. Sometimes he's just in a bad mood for no reason. Just like me.
Yeah, just like people.
I'm sympathetic. Oh, you know.
Just kind of wanted to claw you down when we were recording the podcast last week.
I come home mad all the time for no reason. So I'm not going to judge him.
And then you get home, and now he's mad that you're invading his space. What are you doing here? Where have you been all day? Here's a duress.
Air ball.
That's rare.
Yeah, for this deck. Nothing but creatures.
Soulfire Grandmaster, 2 Thunderbreak Regents, and 4 lands. Swing and a miss. This is an 18 spell deck, probably more every sideboard.
I can already get a sense of Hunter's body language right now. You lose the first game where maybe you flood out a little bit. Opponent could have played tighter maybe to win the game a little bit faster. Try to shake it off. Start off game 2 with a duress that whiffs. You can already feel it.
Misses his second land drop just over the edge. Does have a windswept teeth, however, so that part won't happen. Hang will sacrifice Flooded Strand.
It's like the game's a foregone conclusion. You already know.
We've been in these spots before.
Yeah.
We've lived it. That's why we're in here. We can't take it.
You have nothing left to give.
Bloodstained Mire, the draw. And Polluted Delta. A Polluted Delta that will have to be sacrificed. There we are. No Urborgs on the battlefield anymore.
Listen, everyone loves shortcutting with fetch lands.
Murderous Cut's going to take care of that Soulfire Grandmaster. You love shortcutting with fetch lands. I like taking my sweet time with those things. Get a good shuffle in.
Well, it's under 16 minutes on the clock here. We're
in game 2.
we just got done with the second turn of game 2 against 2 fairly aggressive decks.
Now you're on your fetch lane.
So you tell me. I'm not blaming anyone. It's a judgment-free zone. This is just the reality we live in now.
Bloodstained Mire, pass the turn back. Nance will sacrifice a fetch land.
I bet he will.
Yeah. I think Hunter should get a good pile shuffle in right now too if he
Give
could.
it a wash.
Yeah.
Spread over the table.
Get a good pile shuffle in. Make sure it's random. Negate in hand here for Nance. And hands on head. Trying to figure out what the heck my opponent has. He's not doing anything. And neither am I. What's happening here? What's Bloodstained-Meyer going to find? Oh, look, another fetch land. How are you right now on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'm just watching the clock. And when you start thinking of that clock in seconds and minutes and then hours, days, months, and years and so on of human lives,
Yep.
you know, that's what I'm thinking about right now, if you have to know.
Our third spell. It's a Siege Rhino. It's a Siege Rhino. Feels like these two have been doing a lot. They haven't been doing anything at all. Siege Rhino's going to resolve.
They got a lot of randomization in.
They did. Valor Stance will take care of that Siege Rhino.
Oh, that was a fairly fast resolution of a game action. That's great.
Now Mountain. Now they're turning.
All right, here we go. We got Dragon.
Thunder.
This has got to kill someone, right?
Thunderbreak region has
It's an actual dragon.
Nance will just have to pass the turn back.
Kill him!
Land number 5. Another dragon.
Yep.
That resolves. This is getting ugly now.
And Hunter has the body language of a guy with negate in his hand facing down, nothing but creatures. Yep. Dramoka's command no creature.
Yep.
I know this feeling. This is great.
Draconic Roar.
First spell. Unfortunately for Hang, no targets.
Well, fortunately for Minh, he has a Mantis Rider. Beatdowns, all in the air. 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. You're at 4. There's actually 2 Draconic Roars. What's the icing on the cake here? In ultimate price, that would either he can't kill the Mantis Rider or he would die if he cast it. Minh Hang is going to win this match here over Hunter Nance, 2-0. A bad end of the day there for Hunter, a great end of the day there for Minh. Minh will move into day number 2 at 7-2, and it's even unclear if Hunter can make day 2 with the 6-3 record.
This was my favorite match of the whole day.
This